just about talent or showing up or being amazing, which he is. But it's about standing firm when life shakes you. It's about being on when everything around you says to let go. And it's about faith that doesn't break, even under so much pressure. What stands out to me the most is not just what Elise has been through, but it's about how she overcame everything.
That's right.
With strength, humility, and unwavering faith. No matter what, sis, you have kept on going and believing and continuously overcame. And overcoming isn't always loud, it's not always seen, but what it is always powerful.
That's right.
And sis, I want to share the scripture, John 16:33. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. And with that, I present to you the winner of the Overcome the World Award, Elise Campbell.
Hi family, good morning. First off, I want to give massive thank you to the Smooths for this beautiful venue and for this opportunity to hear my testimony. And also my church family who has nominated me this award. Herald the Faith. It truly means a lot to me and it is such an honor. For those I haven't had a chance to meet yet, there's a lot of new faces. My name is Elise Young. I am from the San Francisco region and I've been a disciple for 11 years. The title of my short charge today is Victory Has Already Yours. Victory doesn't begin when life rises up. It is when faith rises up. So many of us have thought that victory comes at the end of a struggle, the end of a breakthrough, after everything works out. But that is not how God defines victory. Let's turn to 1 John 5:4. It says, "For everyone born of God overcomes the world. This is the victory that has overcome the world, our faith." I love the study of words, the etymology of words, and the Greek word for overcome is nikao. It means to conquer, to prevail, yes, to carry off the victory. And the Greek word for victory is nike, meaning spiritual triumph. So this kind of overcoming is not barely surviving. It is not living through life. It is not just getting by. It is a decisive, already secured victory through faith. Victory is not something we are waiting on. Victory is something we are walking into. It is saying yes when fear is screaming no. I used to really think overcoming was just a moment. But now I know it's a mindset. It's a daily yes, a daily surrender, a daily refusal to let fear has the final word. My greatest test did not come in a moment of strength. It came in a moment of total surrender. About a year and a half ago, I made one of the scariest leaps of faith. On the outside, it looked like I had it all together. I had a stable job at CSF, radiology. I had been working for 5 years.
Yep.
The team was predictable, the paycheck was dependable, and the job felt safe. And I'm gonna be honest, I was comfortable. But for years, God had been nudging my heart towards the truth. Go back to school. Go become a nurse. And to obey that calling meant quitting my full-time job, walking away from security, and stepping into an underrated nursing program with no backup plan. So this was a year where everything was 12-hour days of classes and clinicals, back to back, and as a single mom.
Yeah. Come on.
Fear was not quiet. Fear was loud. It was in my face. It told me, Elise, how can you manage Jaden and juggle ministry and school? What if you give up everything and you fail? What if you do not have enough? Enough time, enough money, enough strength. And I had to stop trying to control the outcome and ask myself, is my God who takes, or is my God a God who provides? Despite every fear, I chose to trust him. And God did not get me through. He stretched me. He stretched my bank account, and somehow I never missed my weekly conference. And I thought that when Jesus Christ stretched my time, and I was still able to be present with Jaden while still finishing assignments. He stretched my energy, and somehow I was still able to show up in the kingdom, not drained, but refilled by His grace. God showed me that overcoming is not about self-reliance. It's about dependence on Him. And slowly the questions in my mind shifted. No longer, what if I'm not good enough? But instead, what if God is more than enough? And when I graduated and passed my NCLEX in 2020, it was never just about a degree. It was proof that God honors obedience. He sustained me when I could not see how. He provided in ways I never could have planned. He strengthened me when I felt empty. And I learned that the real growth, it happens in the pressure. And if you stay with God in the pressure, He will always bring you through it. Now this degree is not just my victory. It is a shared victory. God surrounded me with spiritual mentors, family, friends who refused to let me quit. I'm especially grateful for my parents who filled in the gaps for my son Jaden while I took on long clinical shifts and late night studying. To my discipler and best friend Agnes, thank you for believing in me and for being my lifeline. That reminded me of God's promise. And to my son Jaden, you had the hardest transition of all. Thank you for your patience. I know spending most of the week without mommy was not easy. Watching me navigate that absence was one of the most painful parts of the time. I know there were many nights you waited for me to come home just so I could touch you instead. The baby, I did this for us. And I know you were proud of mommy. One of the greatest lessons God taught me in this season was this. Overcoming is not about doing more. It's about staying rooted in God. Sometimes victory looks like simply sitting next to Jaden while he plays Roblox. Sometimes it looks like a quick bike ride to the park. And lately it's been playing pickleball at night. Not big moments, just real ones. And those moments reminded me that these trials did not just lead me to a degree. They shaped and molded me into the woman God created me to be. A woman built by trials, led by faith, and crowns in victory. So family, I want to speak to anyone who feels stuck in their career, delayed, or like life has not gone the way you planned. Faith still moves when life feels uncertain. If God has placed something on your heart, do not let fear stop you. Do not let I'm not good enough keep you from obedience. Falling down is part of the process, and you fall down many, many times.
Right.
But staying down is the only real failure. Overcomers always gets back up. Family, you are not behind. You are not disqualified. And it is not too late. Because if you belong to God, victory is already yours. So brothers and sisters, let's readjust our crowns. Come on now. Lift off your shoulders. Walk like victory is already yours. Live like it. And trust that the same God who called you will also carry you all the way through to victory.
Come on.
I love that guy. Incredible out to me is when she said that faith is a mindset. Whatever you go through, whatever doubt may creep in your life, you can overcome the world as long as you have true faith and you stay rooted in God. Our God is so much bigger than this world. With that, I have the privilege and the honor of sharing this next award to someone who truly represents what it is. And that's the Harvest is Plentiful Award. When I think about Pepe,
Love that man.
I think about sacrifice. The thing about sacrifice is that it's not always recognized. But it's about serving faithfully when you don't always see the results. I know that there have been moments when the needs sometimes felt overwhelming. When the labor felt a little bit too heavy. Sometimes it might have been easier to but you did it. You stepped in, you leaned in, and you kept working the field. Because true labor in God's kingdom is not always recognized. It's not always celebrated. But it's always seen. Matthew 9, verse 37 and 38 says, "The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Ask the Lord of the harvest, therefore, to send out workers into the harvest." I give you Jose Pepe Franco.
Just start off by thanking God for everything, honestly, His strength, and then just giving me everything. Like, and everybody here for giving me this award, honestly.
Love it.
It is difficult, but amen.
Love it already.
It's funny because when Swoop told me about me receiving this award, I was shook. I didn't know what to say. I was just on the phone and I was just like, wrong buzzer, bro. Someone else. And only because I was just like, man, what? There must be a glitch in the system. But regardless, I'm thankful to put this award in for everything. And I couldn't do it without the CIA Bible Talk. These guys are amazing. They pour out their heart as much as I do. They always thriving, it makes everything a pleasure and just so much easier. Every time we go sharing, they're over there sharing with everybody and anybody. They don't stop. So this award is not just for me, but for them as well. For making everything possible. You know, and also I want to shout out my region leaders from the moment I got baptized. Bob, Victor, and even Victor. I knew exactly that I needed these men in my life because they showed me love, patience, and just a lot of care. They showed me how to be a true disciple because when I first got became a disciple, I was not the guy I am right now. Definitely not.
Definitely not, bro.
Whole different person. And these guys really molded me into this. So I'm really thankful for them. And there's a scripture that I love using before I go sharing because it gets physical, especially after 8 hours of work and a lot of rejections, you finally get the number and you're like, hey, man, let's do it. And then you text them and then no response. Then you realize you're this verse always gives me the strength to just continue. In Ezekiel 3, 17 to 19, it says, Son of man, I have made you a watchman for the people of Israel. So hear the word I speak and give them warning from me. When I say to a wicked person, you will surely die. And you do not warn them or speak out to dissuade them from their evil ways in order to save their life. That wicked person will die for their sins, and I will hold you accountable for their blood. But if you do warn the wicked person, and they do not turn from their wickedness or from their evil ways, they will die from their sins, but you will have saved yourself. And the other version it says, their blood will not be in your hands. So that's what motivates me, because it's like, I do not want to have blood in my hands when I'm judged. I don't want to be the reason why someone couldn't be saved or even baptized. It's really hard when I get a no, because it's like, bro, I'm trying to save you. It's like, man, the other days, I was trying to push the word to somebody, they just kept walking away from me. And I'm like, bro, I'm here to save you, and like, I'm saved, like, come on. They were like, sorry bro, I'm not the most religious person, and it's like, hey man, I understand bro, have a great night, and God bless you. All we can do is just plant the seed. Some way, somehow, they'll come back to God, despite the small speech we give. God tests us. He takes us through the fire, and makes us pure. Refines us like silver, purifies us like gold. But in every test, God, He produces good in us. He builds us up to be somebody we never expected to be. A lot of us, when we first became a disciple, we weren't the people we are today. Even in the Bible says, we'll be new creations, new creatures. And we definitely are new now. We are way different, and I just want all of us to just continue with our hardest. To continue putting the seed into people, because you'll never know when they come back to themselves. So we're going to get never stop. We're a church that is supposed to do what God's will is, which is go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them. And that's my small speech. Come on!
I'm just so inspired. I think something that stands out to me is that we need to be that people to go plant that one seed of faith. No matter how hard our day has been, no matter how long you were working, as long as you plant that one seed. Well, with that, everyone needs to stand on up. We're going to go and continue our service with an incredible song.